I am joined by Robert Griffin III, James White, Field Yates Minakaims.
All right, so first play we're going to look at, 2nd and 2, one of the Patriots' first offensive plays.
What's going on, everybody? Mike Kadlick here. Taylor Kyle's there. Back with another episode of the Patriots Daily Podcast here on the CLNS Media Network, powered by Game Time. Make sure to head over to Game Time. Use code CLNS. You get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Today, Taylor, well, you know, behind the curtain a little bit, peeling it back, trying to figure out our week of podcasting. It's funny. Me and Taylor, to take you guys, again, behind the scenes, we're going back and forth, trying to find some topics, trying to find some show things to bring to you. And basically, we were like, let's just let Thursday happen naturally and see what happens. And lo and behold, something does. So we have a lovely topic, a left tackle topic to bring to you guys off the top. And then, as always, we'll get into some mock drafts. We'll talk about some other mock drafts that are out there in the ether right now and close out with one of our own to see yet another combination of how the Patriots could potentially bring in a new draft class heading into next season. But the big news, I don't want to say it's Patriots related, but it kind of inherently is Patriots related. And that is that Raiders left tackle Kolton Miller is not participating in voluntary OTAs or voluntary offseason program out in Las Vegas as he seeks a contract extension. This was reported last night by ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. He's 29 years old. He's a 7-year starter and is set to be a free agent next offseason. And then Fowler also followed up that the team and Miller have yet to engage in contract talks. So it kind of feels like they're at a standstill. And that becomes Patriots adjacent news because, as we know, they have two big holes in left tackle and wide receiver that still need to be filled. They sit at number 4. We're into the Will Campbell talk. We're into the Armand Membu talk. Don't know what they should do. But now it sounds like there might be a left tackle, Taylor, on the market. So we'll start with this. Miller also missing voluntary OTAs to me is a big deal for many reasons, but he is a team captain and he's been a team captain there for 3 years. So if one of your leaders is missing the voluntary stuff, I understand you got to take care of yourself in the contract and blah, 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 but there's something to that. So this feels very real to me. And I think that there would be a chance at least that he could be on the trade market. So wanted to get your thoughts on it and ask you point blank, should the Patriots be in the market for trading for Kolton Miller if it does come to that?
I think they absolutely should be in the market because this is the team that still doesn't have its left tackle. Tyron Smith retired, the career Cowboys left tackle. Most of his career, obviously, ended it with the Jets for that one season. But, I mean, it would make sense because you don't want to go into the season with Vidarian Lowe. And the way I see it, I don't want to say unless, because it doesn't disqualify you from taking another offensive lineman with your top pick or anything like that, but at least it gives you more flexibility having a career left tackle who Josh McDaniels has experience with. Mm-hmm. He was a captain, obviously, for Josh McDaniels Raiders, so he's very familiar with the player. And him sitting out, like, I don't really mind. If it's for a contract thing, like, you got to take care of yourself. I get that. I don't really mind. And Vrabel, like, if he's willing to, you know, kind of be tolerant of good players when it comes to, I don't know. I'm referencing that clip I keep thinking of where he talks about.
And the thing, well, the thing with him missing it too, I don't hold that against him. It just tells me that there's actually a real rift there and that they're not close. Because if they were close and there was some sort of agreement, communication, idea that we can get to something, he would likely be there because he is a leader and has been a leader of that team for so long.
Yeah, so the leadership and then the veteran presence. So it will just give you more stability on the offensive line, where then the left guard spot is probably the one that's at least a competition, right? You got City, so you got Layden Robinson, maybe Cole Strange if he's in the mix there as well. And center's probably still your worst position. I think, you know, Layden Robinson, if he continues to grow, is probably going to be a better player for you overall. But I think they absolutely should be in on Kolton Miller. Maybe not for like a second-round pick because he is still a good left tackle. He's approaching 30, but you still got Ronnie Stanley playing some really good ball last season when he was 30 years old. So I don't really think it's going to keep him from getting good capital, whatever the Raiders are trying to get from him. I think it's probably going to be more like a 3rd-round pick. And if it's the Judon pick, I'm totally fine with that. You buy yourself from time at that left tackle position, maybe pounce in a draft where you have more quality options and you're in position to get a player who maybe has more upside than a Will Campbell. And you could still get a Will Campbell or, you know, whatever else you want at the top of the draft and maybe just reinforce that offensive line even more. Although I don't love the idea of drafting Will Campbell to be a guard. But either way, I absolutely think the Patriots should be in on Kolton Miller because he's one of the few good left tackles that is even remotely available at this point.
So if they do, then let's play this game. We'll get into the mock draft situation in a little while, but let's say they do trade for Kolton Miller, and let's say they do use one of their third round picks on him, just for an exercise, right? Because I'm with you. I don't think I would give up 38 either. I think at that point, you're better off either using 38 or 4 at the tackle position than having those two things instead of having number 4, Kolton Miller, and kind of moving it that way. So we'll use use the third round pick as the trade compensation. If they do trade for Kolton Miller, they sign him to an extension. Now you're sitting there at pick number 4. What do you do if you're the Patriots?
I entertain the idea of Ashton Jeanty at this point.
Okay.
Because then if you do want to take the best player available, it's him. And there's not really, he's the only other blue chip type of player that's going to be available, getting comps to LaDainian Tomlinson. And I've seen the light after the whole, like, you don't want to replace Demario Douglas. I still think that, with a roster that has a ton of holes, you don't necessarily want to shove down your good players. But at the same time, Ashton Jeanty is going to be a better player than Ramondre Stevenson. Ramondre, as good as he is, he's not locked in terms of someone you absolutely know you can rely on. And Antonio Gibson is someone whose contract can get out pretty early next year.
Sure.
So I would at least entertain the idea of Jeanty at that point. Again, Will Campbell, if you do like him at guard, and if he said he's willing to play whatever the coaches that draft him tell him to do. But I like the idea of just going crazy and then really loading up that front. But also if they like Layden Robinson, I think he has quality upside if he's someone that Doug Marrone really knows how to get the best out of. So I don't know. I got so excited about this. I texted the group chat. I was like, do we take Jeanty now? Like what happens here?
I'm with you as far as excitement, because it feels like a real opportunity here. It's not a pipe dream. It's not like we're just saying, hey, go trade for this guy and he's under contract for 3 years and hanging out. Like he's clearly at an impasse with Vegas. And of course there's a chance that they make it happen and they come to agreement and everything's great. But as of right now, as we sit here, like there's a reason that report came out yesterday. It's right, a week before the draft. He's not at OTAs. They can't get a deal done, as Jeremy Fowler said. They're not there yet. So I do think there's reason to be relatively excited for this, because the Patriots have also been aggressive when these types of things have happened so far this offseason. You talk about Garrett Bradbury, who they signed Ryan Kelly in Minnesota, and then they cut Bradbury, and everyone's like, oh, the Patriots should go get him. It felt like everyone jokingly or, putting the Patriot meme on Garrett Bradbury because they need a center, and, everybody does this, but then they actually make it happen. So they've been relatively aggressive at this position along the offensive line so far. Morgan Moses as well. Perhaps they go do it again. So I'm all for it as well. I do think there's a realistic chance that they do at least try and make something happen prior to the draft. And it should be exciting because then it puts them in position to acquire some other impact players and not feel shoehorned into Will Campbell, who already has question marks and has not yet proven that he can play left tackle. So no, I do think that it's a real possibility. I would say for me, I still don't want to go Jeanty at number 4. I think I'm still just,
maybe
I don't know about, yeah, that's the thing. I don't know about running back at number 4. I just can't do it. You have a guy in Ramondre, and it's not like Jeanty's the missing piece, right? Where like Saquon was to Philly. Like that's just not the situation the Patriots are in right now. I would entertain Ted McMillan. I would entertain Jalen Walker. They've been connected to him for a while. And yeah, you might miss out on Abdul Carter if he goes 4 or goes 3 to the Giants. Here's an interesting one once I get through this thought. So I would entertain Jalen Walker because he's been connected to the team. They clearly like him. At that point, I don't think you're going to be getting enough to then trade back out of 4. That would be ideal. You trade for Miller, you trade out of 4, you get more capital back, and then you start cooking and moving around. But the one I just thought about, Taylor, is what if you go trade for Kolton Miller, Shedeur goes 3, and then you end up with Abdul Carter at number 4. So then you get your left tackle, you get your dominant top tier player in the class at edge rusher and Carter. You don't have to settle for Walker, which again, that's a debate in its own right now. And then all that you have left is wide receiver at 38, where you can either maybe use some more capital and trade up or whatever. So what it does is give you a bunch of different options. And I think that's what's most exciting about the potential of this trade.
What do you think it would look like if the Raiders wanted to move up in the draft and package Kolton Miller? So they have 6, right?
They have 6. Now we're talking. Okay.
How would that work? I'm not good at these trade scenarios. That's not my area of expertise.
Me either. So I'm just kind of like,
I should have texted Barth before. I'll text him right now. See what he says.
see if he wants to pop in for a quick second. We can go
call
through
him.
it. Yeah, we're live to tape.
Can you talk and I'll see if he be down to go on air?
Yeah, try it. See what happens.
All
right. But on that note, why we're calling Barth is because we don't know these trade situations very well. Like, you talk about the Raiders at 6, the Patriots at 4. Like, go ahead. You're muted. Oh, you're talking to Barth. Duh. In my opinion, I would personally think about moving back from 4 to 6 just to get Kolton Miller. I don't know if that's something the Raiders would do. They just throw us Miller to move up 2 spots. I don't know if that works, but maybe that's not enough. We have him.
I've got Barth on. He's in the car, but
okay.
I asked him. Okay, so Barth,
Alex, welcome in. Welcome into Pat's Daily.
Hello. He says hello. Okay, so Bud, we are trying to figure out what it would look like if the Patriots and Raiders wanted to flip their first round picks and involve Kolton Miller in that deal. What do you think it would look like?
Well, so my first question is, what is the incentive for the Raiders there, right? Are they flipping picks with the idea they're going to take Will Campbell at 4? Like, if you're the Raiders, you have to ask yourself, would you rather move up 3 spots or would you rather get an additional pick?
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's worth more? I don't mean to totally sidetrack the conversation, but I've been thinking about this. What's worth more, moving from 6 to 3 in this draft or getting, say, 38?
I think for them getting 38, they have Geno. If they didn't have a quarterback, I might go the other way, but I think more picks might be better for them.
If I'm the Patriots, I'm offering individual picks for it to do that. But let's say it was 3 to 6 with Kolton Miller. It depends how much the Patriots value Jalen Walker. There's a lot of weird variables here.
Yeah.
Like if the Patriots really like Jalen Walker, somebody, or Tyler Warren or Ashton Genty, whoever, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders probably need to include another pick.
Okay.
Because that's about the equivalent of like a late first round pick, that move, which is not what Kolton Miller's worth.
Yep, true.
Right. That's kind of where it feels like it sounds worth it. Oh, you move back 2 spots and then you get your left tackle of the future and you still have a first round pick. But you're right, Alex. Like in other situations, in other drafts, that could easily cost another team a first round pick next year and even more capital on the back end.
So, like, for me, like, if I'm the Patriots, I'm offering 69 and then, one of those 7th round picks.
Oh, okay. So not even 77. You're going 69?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the thing. If I needed to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a high 3rd round pick. Let's say the Chiefs, they don't like any of the tackles in the draft. They desperately need a left tackle. They're trying to contend. They're trying to win right now. They're not worried about picks. They'll offer, or some contender will offer a late second.
Mm-hmm.
I would put 38 on the board. I wouldn't start with it, but I'd put it on the board because if we're working under the assumption the Patriots want Kolton Miller, that means they don't believe in Will Campbell or Ariante Arcery at 4. Because if they did, you just take that guy. He's on a rookie contract. He's younger, yada, yada, yada. So if you don't believe in that guy at 4, we've talked about this. There's a really good chance you're going to need to use 38 to move up and get a tackle.
Yeah.
So you're probably using 38 to acquire a tackle either way. Is it a bit of an overpay? Yes. And I might want another later pick coming back, whatever. But and I don't think Kolton Miller's going to get traded, so this is all irrelevant. But in theory, I'd start with those 3rd round picks. That might get it done. I would go to 38 if I needed to get the deal done.
38 is maybe where I draw the line because I feel like at that point, Kolton Miller's not perfect, but he is a quality left tackle. And while obviously getting someone who you know has had success in the league makes sense, he is approaching 30. I thought last night I was excited about maybe a second, but I think I would probably stop at the 3rd. 69 is just as I go.
So they're in on Kolton Miller in this scenario, which means they don't believe in Campbell or Membo. Okay. You're not going to trade 38 for Kolton Miller. How are you getting your tackle?
I would say Ursery, Donovan. I still think those guys are good enough, and they have the left tackle experience that they could be fine as a rookie, even if they did struggle. And if you had to flip them in the next year, you could, like you said, the tackle draft might be better next year, especially at left. So maybe you try again that year.
So you would rather use 38, and if it's a trade up, if it's a pick on Ariante or one of those guys, as opposed to trading it for Kolton Miller. Because that's basically what's a better use of pick 38 is basically my question. Is it Kolton Miller, or is it one of those like third tier tackles?
Oh, not a tackle. I would have gotten an offensive tackle before that. Like,
I think it's
what I'm saying. So
right.
But you're not taking a tackle at 4 in this scenario. If they're in on Kolton Miller, means they're not taking a tackle at 4.
Right.
So now where's the tackle coming from?
38.
Right. So you're either taking one of those guys at 38 or trading 38 up to get one of those guys, or you're trading it for Kolton Miller. What's a better use of 38?
I say Kolton Miller. He's proven. He's played in the league. You need a guy who can automatically just essentially plug and play, and that's what he is. Where the other guys, you're still working on projection, which very well could work out. And then, like you said, Alex, it's a rookie contract versus an extension, but it's still a proven commodity. And at that point, once you make the trade, all it costs is money.
So to me, there's no right answer to that question, because you can make the case for the younger player on the rookie contract, or you can make the case for the proven asset.
And like it all comes down to what their board says about Ursary, about Simmons if he falls. If they feel comfortable saying second round, we feel comfortable that even if there's a run, we are going to be able to get our guy. That's one thing. If they don't think that, then hell yeah, I'm cool with the second round pick for Miller, because at that point you're getting a developmental guy anyway. If you don't think they're starters, you can get that guy in the third round.
That's basically where I'm at. It's because I've said this. I don't think Ursary's getting 38. Certainly not. So you're going to have to use that to trade up. You can use it to trade for Kolton Miller. I think there's a case to be made that it's easier to just trade it for Kolton Miller and get that question answered. Again, ideally, you get the trade done in 69, and you can pick somebody, you can pick a guard at 38, you can pick Tyler Booker, Grace Abel, or Donovan Jackson. But if push came to shove, like 9 days from today, which is the second day to the draft, we have to be able to answer the question, who is the Patriots left tackle? If that question is not definitively answered in 9 days, that's a major problem.
Amen.
It's a good point.
Amen.
We'll leave it at that.
That was good. Wow,
Thank you,
she was
Alex.
on the other foot there. It was like we were radio hosts there for a second.
That was awesome. Yeah.
I took it completely other direction. Long time person. I took it completely other direction, but that's more the way I look at it.
Honestly, Bud, that's why we called you, because we were either going to get the straight answer or we were going to get the interesting answer, and we got a little bit of both. So thank you very much, buddy. All right, be safe.
Yeah, Alex.
Peace.
Alex Barth, 98.5, and host of the Patriots Beat podcast here on the CLNS Media Network, joining us for an impromptu call on a potential Kolton Miller trade for the Patriots. I know, sorry, it was hard to hear him. It was basically a radio call, but we appreciate Amit said fix the audio. Oh, we missed it. Sorry, guys. It's a radio call.
We were just wrapping it up.
Yeah, all right. Well,
sorry.
That was fun. We'll get back to Kolton Miller, and we'll do some mock drafts in a second. But first, a quick word from our friends over at Game Time. We'll be right back. Patriots Daily is powered by Game Time, the best place to get tickets to all of your favorite events, not just sporting events, but concerts and shows as well. And they have their new feature called Game Time Picks, and it makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. They filter out the fluff and show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have super deals, they have great deals, they have amazing deals, and they have them right in the app. You can customize your spot and find the best place to see all of your favorite teams play. They have the lowest price guaranteed as well, along with event cancellation protection, job loss protection, and more. And you can also see your seat view right from the app. Not all ticketing apps have that, but Game Time does. You can see the Celtics, you can see the Bruins, you can see anything that's going on at TD Garden right here in the Boston area. So make sure you use Game Time when you're buying your tickets. With the Game Time Picks feature, all in pricing, seat views, and more, it is the best place to find tickets. So download the Game Time app today, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time.
Amit. Amit, you're watching. Please fix it.
If you're still there, we need to fix that. Taylor needs to be able to say game time, but download it, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply as always. If you're into getting tickets, if you want to go to the Celtics playoffs coming up on Sunday at the TD Garden, best place to do it is at Game Time. And give us some love there. Use that code CLNS. You get $20 off your first purchase. All right. So that's the Kolton Miller discussion. I think we'll leave it there. I think we're both on board for them to trade for him for the right price. Don't get crazy, as always, but they should definitely be in the mix and at least give it a call and see what happens and go from there. But we'll do mock draft season here once again because our friend Dane Brugler, friend of the show, came out with his 7-round NFL mock draft. And here's who we had going to the New England Patriots. So I wanted to dive into this a little bit. Taylor, you guys can see on screen, but if those who are listening just on audio, the highlights here, they take Will Campbell at pick number 4. They take wide receiver Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State at pick 38, center Jared Wilson out of Georgia at pick 69, and some other big ones here, running back RJ Harvey in the 4th round, a kicker, Ryan Fitzgerald out of Florida State in the 7th round. They hit tight end in round 5, as well as edge rusher with Kyle Kennard out of South Carolina. The one thing I did want to loop in here, Taylor, is reading Daniel Jeremiah's piece actually on NFL Network this morning. He drops his 5 guys who could potentially sneak into the 1st round, and he had Jared Wilson potentially being a 1st round pick.
As a center only?
Yeah, and so I found that interesting that Dane had Jared in the 3rd. And Daniel Jeremiah said that. Again, they talk to different people. They know different things. It was one of those ones where, there's been guys like that in the past. Like your Rashad Pennies, your even Clyde Edwards-Helaire at the time. Now, granted, those are 2 running backs, but guys who you throw a dart at the end of the 1st round, you get the 5th-year option and see what sticks. But noteworthy anyway that I thought that DJ had Jared Wilson as a potential 1st-round pick. But your thoughts here on what Dane put together for a Patriots 7-round mock draft.
I like it. Now, I'm not as high on Jaden Higgins as other people. I just don't think he brings as much verticality as this offense needs. I also don't think he plays quite as big as you would expect for someone who is his size. And I also think for as efficient as he can be as a route runner and as surprising of a separator as he is for someone who's that big, he does get caught in the mud on some routes. I think good corners who are athletic and don't really fear him vertically are going to be able to hang with him pretty easily because I don't know if he's quite physical enough to really capitalize against more than just kind of smaller defensive backs, but he's still a good player. He was insanely productive, caught everything that came his way pretty much. So he's still a very good player. Jared Wilson, I honestly have come down on him a bit. Unless the Patriots think he would be their starter from day one, I don't like the idea of taking a center only in the 3rd round. I think that's kind of a waste of a commodity. I'd rather take a guard with center flexibility. There's a lot of guys, honestly, I haven't looked into very deeply in terms of film, but I'm at least familiar with, Ty Robinson. His profile is very interesting, and it seems like a theme with Brugler and with ESPN and all these guys is they think the Patriots should get somebody at that nose tackle position who can take up space, maybe has some pass rush upside. I think Ty Robinson does that. RJ Harvey, another guy, I don't know what it is. I see a little bit of Deion White, James White-ish to his game, kind of. But in the games I watched, I wasn't as impressed.
Deion Lewis, you mean, right? Sorry.
What did I say?
Deion White. You said Deion White, James White.
Yeah,
Deion Lewis.
My bad.
Deion Lewis, James White. I'm just making sure we're on the same page.
Thank you. Because he's undersized and really he's smaller for a Mike Vrabel back specifically because really he's never had a back except for Deion Lewis who was under 5'11". He likes his bigger guys. So RJ Harvey would be different for them. But, in that maybe 3rd down back archetype, I could see that working. Kyle Kennard is a guy that I took in one of my mock drafts. I think I took him in the 3rd round though. So this is a little bit embarrassing. But Kennard, I know gave Will Campbell some problems. He's an interesting player, has a pretty nice spin move. He's got good speed to power move. Not too familiar with Mitchell Evans, but Notre Dame tight end. Shit, sign me up. Garrett Dellinger, another LSU lineman. Cool, going back to that pipeline. And then Ryan Fitzgerald is one of the best kickers in this draft. So I think I'd be pretty happy with this. Amit said in the comments, you got to leave this draft with 3 or 4 starters. Yeah. I would assume that at least 4 of these guys would be starting. Will Campbell, Higgins, Jared Wilson. Ryan Fitzgerald would probably be the top kicker. And then Ty Robinson, depending on nose tackle, you could have another one there. So this is a pretty bang up draft, I'd say.
I am pulling up DJ's thing right now so I can show the blurb on Jared Wilson. But I agree. This is, again, it hits the two big needs at the top: Will Campbell, Jaden Higgins. You fill a role in Jared Wilson with Garrett Bradbury, kind of your only short-term answer at center. Hit on RJ Harvey. These are, you start to learn these guys and you see them over and over again because of where they're landing at different spots in mock drafts. But I'm with it. It hits tackle, it hits wide receiver, and it fills some other needs here with the Patriots. So I am a fan of this one from friend of the show, Dane Brugler of The Athletic as well. Here is what Dana Jeremiah wrote today on NFL.com. And the article was titled 2025 NFL Draft, 5 Potential Surprise First Rounders. And he did have Jared Wilson listed. Writes, while some teams project versatile North Dakota State O-line Grace Abel to center, the top prospect who actually played the position in college is Wilson. According to PFF, the Georgia product allowed 0 sacks in 511 pass block snaps, his first season as a starter. And he goes on to say many teams expect to go on day 2, but it won't be a total shock if he's off the board even sooner. So worth noting, Dana Jeremiah knows what he's talking about, as we know. He's been in this business for a long time, scouting, etc. When he talks, I tend to listen, as many people do. But you never know. And again, Dane at least had him as the Patriots' first third-round pick in his latest mock. So we'll see what happens there. But that is the latest in mock draft world. I will note too, Taylor, that
fix it. They can see my hamper. Damn it.
Where's the hamper?
I don't wear clothes. No, we're good. You're good. I don't wear clothes. I don't wash clothes.
The other mock drafty note I wanted to mention. Now, this one's not NFL Insider mock draft. It was Colin Cowherd's mock draft today. I was listening into that a little bit. But he had Sanders go 3 to the Giants. He had the Patriots taking Abdul Carter. The other interesting one is he had no linemen taken in the top 10. And he had...
I wonder why.
Will Campbell... Yeah, right, exactly. Will Campbell go 13 to Miami, and then Membu go 14 to Indianapolis. So I don't think no offensive linemen are going in the top 10. He also prefaced it that this was his mock draft and not what he thinks not what he thinks the teams will do, but what he thought the team should do. But there was a couple.
Glad he clarified.
Yeah, a couple. It's funny. I was watching it. It was in the background while I was doing some other work earlier, and I'm listening, and he's doing this is what I think the team should do, not what I think the teams will do. And then every team came up, and he was like, I think they'll do this. It's like, but that's not what he's like. I think the Giants like Shadur, so I think they'll do it. It's like, but that's not what you said the project was. But
I'm not gonna lie, as someone who does now a daily show, I understand how many times have we had games where we didn't even stick to our own rules. Like
I know,
and I don't want to be rude either, because like Colin Cowherd I think he does a pretty good.
He's good at what he does,
role is and everything. But like also, no one's coming to me and asking me like, who are the best NBA players of all time. I'm not asking Colin Cowherd what he thinks, the draft should look like. Fair respectfully.
Point. Like, fair point. It's just, again, you're like you said, we're in the dog days.
To do that too, so shit.
They pay it for it. We're in the dog days before the draft. We got a week to go.
I'm not trying to hate.
And trying to find content, as you mentioned. Let's close out this episode with another 7-round Patriots mock draft and see how this one can go for the Patriots. But first, before we do, I just wanted to shout out ourselves. If you are listening to the show, we ask that you please subscribe to the podcast, like, and leave a review as well. If you're watching the show on YouTube, on CLNS, just do us a favor. If you would, hit that like button on the video and the subscribe button on Patriots Press Pass. It helps us out. You can find our show here all the time. And you'll also see a bunch of our other Patriots shows as well. If you turn on notifications, you know instantly when new videos drop. So always keep it here on Patriots Press Pass. And on that note, Taylor, we'll do another quick one here, but let's do a Patriots mock draft because why not? And we'll actually call in some comments as well. So if you guys are tuning in, paying attention, throw in some comments, and we'll use some of your great advice here as well for the mock. So without further ado, mock draft simulator, load it up, PFF I'm gonna take this off. And we're the Patriots. We're doing 7 rounds. Let's have fun.
Let's have some fun. This beat is sick. Remember that song?
Oh, it's the first time I've seen it go completely
Wow.
like
That's
everybody
probably what it's gonna
expects.
be. Holy,
Yeah.
Wow, I feel honored. Wait, okay, wait. Do you have the our last mock?
Oh,
I can
No,
pull
I
it up.
don't.
I can pull it
Okay.
up. Do you remember what? I don't even remember what we did, to be honest. Sounds a while ago. This
Yeah, I
draft
know.
season has not turned out the way I expected because, like, there's been a
No.
lot of changes behind the scenes and things we've been trying to do. So it's been not quite as coordinated as I want it to be next year. But we,
You know what we can do?
What?
We can do a Colton Miller
I got
trade mock
I
draft.
got it. I got it.
Let's try this. Do you want to do a Colton Miller trade mock draft? So we trade for Colton Miller first?
Not really, to be honest.
Why? Wait a
If,
whoa,
if it happens, then I will. But I kind of, since this is the first one that we've done since our last one.
Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
I don't know. I'm kind of I've come down on Colton Miller a little bit. I also
right,
watched the film, dude. And it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, everybody has a weakness, but oh my god, speed to power, man. He got like put on skates a few times last year. It was kind of scary, and I think it was just enough to sober me up a little bit and be like, it's fine. We could also just get the guy who's going to be in the franchise. So our first pick last time was Abdul Carter. So we're pretty much. Should we just go Will Campbell, or do we want to trade and see what happens? Maybe 7.
The Jets are
No.
the Saints.
Give them nothing.
The Saints.
Is that the next one? Is there anything? Are the Raiders looking to trade up?
No, they're not.
Okay,
It's
I'm down
Jets-
for the
Jets,
Saints. I'm down for the
Saints.
Saints.
What do we want to give up, or what do we want to give that, or what do we want?
Let's see.
Future
Let's
first?
see what the best is we can get.
Future first looks like.
Let's.
50.
Yeah. We're gonna have to force it if we do this. So if we did that, it would have to be for like probably future first and a third
A third from us.
for them. They would have to give us a third.
This says it's a 39%.
So when you do these kinds of trades, it's never going to give you the actual value, so you have to force it. What I think would be realistic is a future first and a 3rd round pick.
Okay. Should we just force it out?
No, a 3rd round pick in this draft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
93.
No, 71.
Oh, duh. Sorry, I'm
So
not
trade
good
up
at
for a
math.
quarterback. You got to pay the tax.
So 71. Yeah, you're right, because they are going to end up going for Shadur. So, all right, let's do that. Let's just force it. That's the trade. They took Genty at 4.
That's insane. Okay, but that would honestly, that'd be so on brand for them.
So Will Campbell went at 8.
Who else is on the board for tackles?
Membu went 5th. Campbell went 8. Tackles are.
Yikes! I do not like this board, to be honest.
Me either. Josh Simmons is there. Tet's gone.
Is this the Jalen? Let's see what other edge rushers are there. Yeah, let's see what other edge rushers are there.
Oh, Jalen Walker?
Jalen Walker's a linebacker. Let's do Jalen Walker.
Yeah. Do you have any interest in Tyler Warren before we take Jalen Walker?
Not really.
Me either. Okay, I just wanted to put it out there because that seems. Let's go Jalen Walker. It makes sense.
Yeah, let's take Colson Loveland, to be honest. More upside.
Fair. All right, 38. We still don't have a tackle.
Omari and Hampton? We have to. Oh, we haven't got a tackle yet.
We don't have a tackle.
What?
Ursary.
So now do we trade? Oh, wait, so do we get Hampton and trade for Miller now?
You said you didn't want to do Miller.
But now I'm open
but
to
now
it.
you do?
Because
That's
we
it.
get Omari and Hampton.
Yeah, but we wouldn't know that.
Let's see if they would take a third for Colton Miller.
Okay.
Well, let's give him 69 for Colton Miller. Player.
They say yes.
Let's see 71. Can we give him 71? Oh, I forgot we have more. Oh, give him 77 then. 77. Let's see if it works.
Yep.
Can we do 106? I'm not going to, but let's just see if it works.
No.
Yeah, okay, let's do 77.
77? Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
All right.
Omari and Hampton. Let's do it, baby.
All right, we got a running back.
This is
So
sick.
Kolton Miller, Amarian Hampton, Jalen Walker. Not bad.
That's a good first couple days. Okay, now let's look at our picks again.
Jalen Walker, Amarian Hampton, and we traded for Kolton Miller. So we need a wide receiver.
I think
Kyle Williams?
Kyle Williams.
Me
Or
too.
Trey Harris. I like Trey Harris better, honestly. I think it's a better value.
Okay.
Oh, wait, we took Trey Harris last time? My bad.
That's
Kyle
kind
Williams.
of what I was thinking too. Let's switch it up a little bit.
Kyle Williams.
Kyle Williams. All right, I'm going to slow it down a little.
Nico, we took Jalen Noel in the last draft. So the last draft, for anybody who wasn't here, can I put it on the screen? No, we don't need to do that. Last draft, we took Abdul Carter, Ariante Ursary, Trey Harris, Jalen Noel, Brashard Smith, Jonah Monheim, the center, cornerback Fentrell Cypress, who I don't even know if he exists, to be honest. I kept looking for scouting reports and I can't find him. And tight end Bryson Nesbitt. So those guys we're not picking again. So here, I would go with Kyle Williams.
Kyle Williams.
And then maybe a little, is Trapillo on the board? I might go Trapillo, honestly, and then Williams.
He is. Oh, we have 69-71. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's in between us?
The Jaguars.
What if they take?
You want to see if anybody wants to trade? Because we're so close. See if anybody wants to get like 70, like the Panthers or somebody. Because we have plenty of options. No, not the Jets. Anybody else?
Nobody wants it.
There's nobody else?
No. It's the 93.
Oh, for some reason, when it does that for you, I can't see it. I was wondering.
Oh.
That adds context to earlier in the show. I was like, what is happening? Okay.
No, it doesn't pop. Oh, I don't see that. It doesn't pop up. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
No, the Saints is next at 93.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll just pick. That's fine.
Let's do Trapillo. We'll do Trapillo, and then we'll do
I think Kyle Williams is going to be there till the third in this simulation, to be honest.
All right, we'll go Trapillo first then.
Nelson. So Nelson wants to know, are we off Jalen Royals? I'm not. I just think I like. Oh man, it's tough because Kyle Williams was a late breakout and he is older, and Jalen Royals hasn't played the position very long. He is coming off an injury. His hands were a little sus. Like in the games I watched, I just wasn't as impressed as I hoped. And it was like the way that he sounds, I thought he overcame not having great size, but it's like he played it like someone who didn't have great size, but he is dynamic. I think he's a bit of a bulkier. I think he has a better height to weight ratio because Kyle Williams is pretty thin. I just personally like Kyle Williams better. I think he's I would rank him higher than I would Jalen Royals. So yeah, I'm still good with
I'm taking Kyle Williams, and I'm not waiting until 106 to do it. I'm not going to try it. It's not worth it. All right. Here's our picks so far as we wait. Jalen Walker, Amarian Hampton, Ozzie Trapillo, Kyle Williams. We need defense here. We need defense. Oh, I guess we have Jalen Walker.
I mean, we don't. But so now we take best player available, I say.
Yeah.
I want to take Olu, but we already have. That would kind of just be irresponsible. Jamari Caldwell's in. Jacob Parrish is good slot corner. Jamari Caldwell is a guy I like a lot as a defensive tack. Honestly, I would do Jamari Caldwell here.
Okay.
Explosive one technique.
Easy.
Takes up a lot of space. He's kind of like a Tyre Tart, who they had in Tennessee. Now he's with the Chargers. He reminds me of him. He's like a massive body, but he's like a very good mover for his size. We're killing this, honestly.
Not a bad draft so far. To trade, or what do we have left?
Oh, like what needs do we have?
Tight end?
Yeah. Tight end and slot corner, I'd probably say. Tight end, slot corner, interior offensive line.
Oh, true. I didn't even think of that. IOL, corner. We can look at tight end too. Mitchell Evans.
Oh, there he is.
As Dan had.
Huzzy.
Have we taken Huzzy?
Would you want to do Seth McLaughlin and see if Huzzy's still there?
Yeah, because we haven't taken a center, and there's no one else. Yeah.
Huzzy goes, bro. I'll freak out. I'll fight you.
Come on.
Don't take my boy.
He's gone. Oh, wait.
Don't take my boy.
He's gone.
Stupid.
Okay.
I think this was smarter. Let's look at safety. See if there's anybody with some versatility to play in the slot. Like Bowman? No. Malachi Moore helps in the secondary at least.
Mm-hmm.
Give you a center fielder. Oh, this is the 5th. Yeah, let's.
This is
but
the
who
Joe
else is on the
Milton
board?
pick
Who else
for
is on the board?
safeties.
Yeah. Or overall, sorry.
Ty Robinson.
Oh, Logan Brown, if we want to get another, but he's more of a guard. Ty Robinson, I feel like that's not respecting the board, though.
True.
Honestly, I would go Logan Brown. Because you need a guy who can play right tackle for you down the road. We don't know how they feel about Caden Wallace. I think it's a pretty good value pick. Would you rather tackle and more depth in the offensive line competition for Caden Wallace, who could still play guard? Caden Wallace could also play guard. Or would you rather have Malachi Moore, a guy who I think it was a leader at Alabama, center fielder mostly? What do you think?
Didn't someone compare him to Devin McCourty too, as like sort of a free safety, center fielding safety? I kind of like
cool with Malachi Moore.
I kind of like that better here, and then we take another sort of depth / potential starting tackle later on. So
yeah, we just took a center. I'm cool with that.
Sure, let's go more. All right, we got 2 picks left. We need kicker, tight end, slot corner.
Let's get a kicker. Unless there's somebody that we really like.
Yeah. Let's look at corner. Let's look at special teams. Mac McWilliams. Did we take him last time?
Oh, Mac McWilliams. Let's do it. We got our slot. Because we didn't take a corner, right?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, I would take Mac McWilliams.
All right. It's easy enough.
And then a kicker.
And then a kicker. You
Is
always
it rude
take
when
a
I do
kicker.
a Boston accent? Since I still wasn't born here. Am I allowed?
Ryan Fitzgerald
I have to.
or Ben Sauls?
What's Ben Saul's deal again?
I don't really know.
Ben Saul's scouting report. Ben Saul's looking at the scouting report on NFL.com. Full menu kicking prospect whose best season was his last with Pitt. Sauls has the hang time and distance to prevent kick returns and displayed newfound deep kick accuracy in 2024. His range helps, but teams might have to tinker with his approach and operation quickness as it could make him vulnerable to blocks in the league. Do we want to read Ryan's as well?
Sure.
Gerald. I definitely typed Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Great quarterback.
Say, oh, funny. They have the same name. Saul's kicking cold weather, a little inconsistent. Thank you, Boss GM. Fitzgerald turned a major corner after an erratic 2022 season and has been a picture of consistency since then. I do like that he was able to bounce back. That's huge. He has proven he can hit the long field goal with consistent lift and ball flight. Fitzgerald needs to improve his hang time on kickoffs and must prove that inconsistencies with intermediate kicks are in the past.
We're debating.
So it feels like Fitzgerald's the upside pick.
Yeah. And
upside,
that's what we need. Upside, baby.
Get that upside.
And just like that, the draft is over.
How did we do?
They gave us an F for Jalen Walker.
PF, you're an F. That was so bad. I sounded like my parents.
We got Kolton Miller, so that's good.
I like think this is draft. A damn good draft.
Yeah, me too.
Comments, what do you think?
What do we think?
Think you did pretty well.
What do we think, chat? I'm going to tweet this out too after. So we'll I'm
proud of us.
Live
some familiar faces. We hit the Ohio State pipeline. We hit the BC pipeline. We went back to UNC, reunited Drake May with his former teammate. We went to UGA, got Drake May for the defensive side of the ball. We got some secondary depth. We got 2 guys who were MMs, Malachi Moore, potential leader down the road at safety, Marcus Epps. That's kind of perfect, right? Another center fielder who's been a captain in the past. Seth McLaughlin in the middle, Jamari Caldwell. That could be really fun in the summer. Kyle Williams bringing juice to the passing game. Ozzie Trapillo giving you your right tackle of the future and some swing tackle depth, as well as some competition for Caden Wallace, who has guard flexibility potentially. Don't forget. I also like Mac McWilliams as that slot option. I really think he's perfect for what Vrabel likes. And Ryan Fitzgerald, we got ourselves a kicker, and most importantly, we got ourselves a left tackle, baby. So I'm really happy with this. I think we set them up to be a legitimate playoff contender. I think this would elevate them from a team that you think could fight for the playoffs to a team where you're like, they might be able to win a wild card game.
Interesting.
Is that
Okay.
fair?
I think
it's
so.
fair.
I mean, yeah. With Kolton Miller as well, I keep forgetting he's technically a part of the draft class. Kolton Miller, Jalen Walker. I don't know what Tropillo necessarily does for you year one, so that doesn't really.
Hey, if something happens to Morgan Moses, you got a guy who's pro ready.
But then Kyle Williams as well could hopefully potentially help. So yeah, I like it. I think it's a good pick. I think it's a good draft. So
curious what people are going to think.
Yeah. Well, I'll tweet it out after this. Give us your thoughts online. And until next time, as well, me and Taylor talked about trading for Kolton Miller. I clicked that by accident. But check it out if you didn't already see the beginning of the show. We went through that entire situation there as he is potentially on the outs in Las Vegas with a contract dispute. And me and Taylor will be back tomorrow here on the channel with a members-only AMA. So as you guys know, we do have our new membership tiers. Taylor's been kicking butt with all of the film breakdowns over on the premium tiers, the premium subscription here on Patriots Press Pass. So check that out if you'd like to. And we'll have a nice members-only AMA tomorrow afternoon with myself and Taylor here. So if you aren't already, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to our membership tiers. There's Rookie Starter, All-Pro, and GOAT status with new features announced monthly. So check out all of our bonus content. And again, the tomorrow's AMA will be All-Pro and GOAT status tier members only. So join us. We'll aim for the afternoon. Not 100% sure what time yet, but we will let you guys know. We will keep you posted. So until then, shout out our good friends at Game Time. Head over to Game Time. Use code CLNS to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. And on that note, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And we will see you next time here on Patriots Daily. Peace out, everyone.